What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Saturday night. We are here live to talk about the Week 7 Top 13 matchup. So, hope you're ready to run through some walls because I know I am. Been a good day, I'm not going to lie to you. Finally, a little bit of relaxation for me. Got to get some work done here and got to get some Eagle stuff done where wanted to have the top matchup show for you this weekend. And look, I enjoy these live videos, always hearing from you guys. Anything that you have on your mind, any questions, comments that you have, I'm here for you. Got loads of information coming your way, as you can see right over here. So you've got the coaching staffs. We're going to talk about the stats, rankings, their standings, talk about everything you need to know about the team, their roster, the depth chart, all that stuff going into this game, who's out, questionable. Then we'll talk about the top matchups here. So loads of info. But I can't do this show without you. So thank you for hitting that like button, sharing this bad boy, subscribing, and joining the family. Cannot thank you all enough for the support. But again, anything on your mind, love to hear from you. You got some score predictions, player predictions, whatever it is. I'd love to hear from you. But let's jump right into this bad boy. And look, this obviously is our first divisional game, so I'm pumped up about it. And, you know, people feel a certain way about the Eagles coaching staff. And look, Sirianni, I know a lot of people give him heat. I like the guy. I think, you know, obviously some issues here we've had because of the new coordinators. I think people just like to jump the gun way too quickly and, you know, season's over all the time. Damn season just began and they were freaking out. Now, we are in week 7, so got to get things on the right page. And I think this offense with our key pieces, that's great. You're missing Goddard, Mailata on IR, that sucks. But you got your receivers back. It's got to be next man up no matter what's going on, man. And I think Vic Fangio, this defense, we talk about when, you know, the return of Sidney Brown, Cooper DeJean starting, what that would mean for this defense. You guys remember that video from a couple of months ago where I talk about what this defense is and how it works and what these players will mean to it. So go check that bad boy out. Just sent somebody a link in one of the comments earlier, but I can send it to you. I can put it down below, try to pin it in the comments in case anyone's interested. But I'm pretty excited about what this staff will continue to do with these players. And everybody's got to get on the same page. New staff, all that stuff. So let's stay patient here. And we got the Giants staff coming here, and he's got a new defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, who really seems to be doing well with this defense. He came over from the Titans there. Mike Vrabel was the head coach. He was the defensive coordinator there. So he's been doing really well. We're going to talk about what these guys have been able to do. But obviously, you know, Brian Daboll, I think, you know, has this team heading in the right direction. You know, you've got Daniel Jones, a quarterback, so it's kind of hard. But he's all right sometimes, so you can't just sleep on him. But, dude, it's a divisional matchup, and it's always going to be a barn burner. You never know what could happen. So I'm trying to lower my expectations, but we better be pissed off for this game. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's effing go. Liz, appreciate you tuning in. Vincent, appreciate you taking the time. And no, man, that's just kind of how football works. You get injuries, but yeah, we have a couple of them, and well, we just gotta have next man up here. But appreciate you tuning in, Tiffany. Let's effing go, Birds. I'm ready to rock and roll here. Hope you guys are ready for this game because we talked about this, staying patient throughout the season and more so after the bye, getting into these games where, you know, we need to really start finding our identity, and that needs to start happening. But remember, you know, you're just getting Sidney Brown back. So if he has a missed tackle or a bad play, bad coverage play, we don't need to fire him or trade him or cut him or, you know, he's a bust, all that. Let's just not do that. And we know that you sickos aren't doing that, but the media, the casual fans will get carried away. So just stay patient. There's a lot of youth in this defense where I think once they get this defense down, and Vic Fangio, you know, a very intricate defense. Again, I'll post that video down below if you haven't watched it or want to watch it again. But it's going to be fun once these young pieces get implemented into this game plan here. And I'm ready for it. I know you guys are ready for it. So let's take a look at what these respective coaching staffs have been able to do with their players and where it's got them. And, well, the NFC East, it's got the Giants at the bottom, and we are in second below the Commanders. Like, what are we doing, dude? Why are we below the Commanders, right? Why does God have to do these things to us as Eagles fans? I don't know, but honestly, it sucks. So but you got to realize 5 games we've played, right? And I think that once you realize that this team is going to get on track and it will get things together, you're going to get a lot more excited. And I know a lot of you guys are with me on that, but I understand the pessimism and the fear that the season's over because the media says so. But to me, you've still got hope here, and the top 7 teams will make the playoffs. So look, I'd love to win this division, and I still think it's right there in front of us. Obviously a half game back from the Commanders there at number 3 in the NFC. But look, man, let's just one game at a time. And obviously this was made before the Saints game. They are now 2-5, whatever. So they would obviously below the Giants. So, hey, Giants got to move up, and we'll put them right back down. Don't worry about it. But let's take a look at how these teams have been able to get here. And you can see the points per game, 18th. Yardage, 10th, okay. But we need to score more points, do more things. And I think with, a healthy A.J. Devontae, that happens more so running the ball with Saquon. But, hey, injuries happen, so you got to have next man up with Goddard out. With Mailata out, you just got to figure it out. Fred Johnson, Calcaterra, let's F and go. But 6th in rushing, 14th in passing, 20th in sacks given up. Don't like that. Tied for 15th interceptions. Tied for 25th in turnovers there. Do not like that. So got to clean it up. Got to get on the same page. Stop turning the ball over. Hurts did not turn the ball over last week. That was fantastic. So just keep developing young players. Keep progressing as a team. I think we'll be all right. Defense, 14th in points, 20th in yardage, 16th against the run, 21st against pass. So look, take it all with a grain of salt, man. You have to. You always want to do that. But look, we need more sacks. We need more turnovers. You can't be second to last in turnovers and 23rd in sacks and expect to be dominant. You can't. So I think those things will continue. We talked about using Huff and doing things with these guys, accentuating their skill sets, really – me just trying my best to implore this team to use the talent they have in all these different schemes. So we're seeing a little bit more of that. I think this defense will get things rolling. And it's not that they haven't throughout the season. We talked about it. There have been bright spots. Now, this Giants team, you can see their offense not exactly, 29th in points, 20th in yardage, 24th in rushing, passing 18th. You can see all that stuff right there. And middle of the pack with sacks and turnovers. Defense, though, tied for 9th in points given up, 10th in yardage, 15th against the run, 12th against pass, 1st in sacks. Wow. So they're coming after you. We know they're going to be coming after. You saw Wink Martindale do it. Shane Bowen's going to try to do it. So I think that this defense, look, they're talented. They've got some guys banged up. I think they'll have some of the guys that are questionable, we'll talk about in a second here. But this is going to be a battle to the death, man. It always is. This is one of the greatest rivalries in sports. And, as much as we talk about hating the Cowboys, the Giants are right up there with me. So for me, I guess I should say. Sorry, I'm drifting off the sea here. But take some Giants. I'm all about it. I'm all about whooping them Giants' asses. And, I'd love to see us go out. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to temper my expectations as to it being, a divisional matchup. But And you son of a bitch, my man, let's go. So what is it, 3:30 over there for you? Oh, man, you are a true wildcat out there. And I appreciate you. I really do, man. I love you, brother, and I hope you're doing well over there in Germany. I know what it is to wake up. We were doing some ribs for this event. My boss at work, whatever, dude, long story, but this guy was telling me he woke up at 3 a.m. I'm like, 5 a.m. is rough enough for me. So you guys you're awesome. And you're truly dedicated, man. I love you, brother. And I hope you're doing well. Hey, you guys want to predict whatever scores, do whatever you want. And you guys, I'm all about whooping some ass. So we got to get one of these games where we will, but it doesn't matter. A win is a win, and I'll take it any way we can get it. So go out there and whoop some ass. No, I don't know. But yo, dude, look, I know we don't get to see each other much. I hope you ever need anything, you could reach out. And I know we're on complete different, you're 6 hours time difference here, but always here for you, man. And I can make special occasions for you. You ever have anything on your mind or anything you want to do. And I try to make those, Fan Fridays and Sicko Saturdays, and now we're trying to do the, Victory Mondays we want, not Misery Mondays, but those live Q&As where you members can actually, post stuff in. And I actually asked you the other day, I'm not sure if you had responded yet, but I know you had a good topic, and I forgot what it was for one of those shows. But, dude, always appreciate you, my friend, and always hear you have anything on your mind. But let me run through these depth charts here, and they have the injuries and practice squad guys included. You can see this is the Eagles IR. These guys will not be on the depth chart. If you're wondering where Mailata is, right there. So on offense, and that asterisk is because they are, 21-day windows opened. They will come back soon. But you see the offense. Goddard's out. Took out Mailata. Fred Johnson's there. You have Jack Driscoll. Sorry, I hit my chair. Jack Driscoll there, practice squad. And you could see, this offensive line, obviously, I think with Mailata and Lane Johnson, you've got Johnson and Johnson, right? No more tears. So I'm all about it. But I think that you've still got one of the better offensive lines. And when you've got weapons like you do, you just got to have faith that they can still get the job done. And I think they will, bro. This team, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are fantastic, but you got to run that effing ball, man. And we'll talk about that here shortly. But the defense, Darius Slay might not play. Maybe Isaiah Rodgers steps in. I'm perfectly fine with that. Byron Young, he could be gone, maybe back on the practice squad, but I think a spot will be needed for Aniyah Smith or Alberto. You can see Sidney Brown here. Now, I've talked about that video. He will be used just because he's, a backup. He is a defensive back that can be used in those dime packages. You can use DeJean and Brown, Swiss Army knives. Talk about the blitzing, and I see a lot of people repeating that now. But that's what I've been talking about for months, when I talk about them before we draft them. This is why I wanted Sidney Brown last year. This is why Cooper DeJean I wanted this year. So I'm very excited, that we actually have Vic Fangio and not these people that are wannabe Vic Fangios. So I'm pumped up. But DeJean here as a punt returner as well. And now Isaiah Rodgers being used. I love it. And we'll talk about that shortly here too. But you can see the Giants IR. So that's what's going on for them. And practice squad IR for Carter Coughlin there. But Andrew Thomas, their left tackle. But his season is over. Unfortunate news for them. He's playing pretty well. But they get Singletary, Neighbors back. And, you got a Zeju stepping in there at left tackle. We'll talk about all these guys here shortly. But you could see healthy other than that left tackle. Now, Burns and Lawrence are questionable but hopeful to play. You can see Dane Belton picked up an illness yesterday, so he is questionable as well. Adoree Jackson out for this game. And he is a depth piece anyway, not even starting there anymore. Deonte Banks playing pretty well. Got a couple rookies starting there for them, though. If you want any more breakdowns of this stuff, you can check out the videos from throughout the week where we talk about the opponent, whether that's behind enemy lines or any of these injury shows. I always try to give you the updated depth charts and things like that so you know what's going on. Their punter is out. We talked about they signed Matt Hack, so they've got themselves a backup plan there. But those are their returners. And we will talk about all that here in a second. I see comments flying on in here, so let me jump over to them real quickly. And then we'll jump into these matchups for this game, and I'll try to go as quickly as I can. But any questions or comments you have on them, I'd love to hear from you. So, missed you too, bro. And it's been crazy past couple of weeks for me. I feel like today was finally a little bit relaxing, but I'm ready to rock and roll. And dude, I get it. You don't have to ever feel bad, bro. I try to keep in contact with my family, and so it's tough. I know what it's like, but Johnson and Johnson, let's effing go. So Kelee Ringo, good depth piece to have, and hopefully in years future he gets better and he can start one day. That'd be awesome. But right now, ready to win with Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and if Isaiah Rodgers needs to start where Slay is out, I'm perfectly fine with that. Little IQs in the future. Yeah, man, we talk about that. Rodgers did well when called upon. Then he got banged up. Ringo came in, had a good hit, and then had his struggles for sure. But, that's what you expect from young guys. And I think it takes a little time. We talked about Mitchell being the only one I thought could really start off the bat and I think he's been pretty good so far. So you can see why I wanted him. You can see why I like Cooper so much. You can see my joy in my heart, and you'll see it soon. But Isaiah Rodgers was one of those free agent additions last year that we talked about when he comes off suspension, what he would mean for this team and, trying to get younger, and he's still pretty damn young, and I think a bright future for him. Obviously, you want to stay out of trouble, but learn your lesson and go win a Super Bowl with the Eagles, right? That would be awesome. But whoever it has to be, next man up, right? And I'd be comfortable with Isaiah Rodgers there. I think as he gets healthier and more acclimated to this defense, he'll get better too. Yeah, I'm ready to whoop up on the Giants, man. I love this rivalry. I love whooping up on them, and they always come to fight, man, and as they should. But what's going on, Nina? Hope you're ready for this divisional matchup here. And look, I always talk about it. It's always a slobber knocker between these two, and I don't want it to be tomorrow. I want to see an ass whooping. So let's talk about how that could get done or how it could not. Top 13 matchups here. We're going to start it off with the return men. Always love to give a little love to the return men, and they've got Ihmir Smith-Marsette and Eric Gray. There's the punt and kick returners for the Giants, and nothing too crazy special there. Gray's got a 25-yard kickoff return average, so that's not bad. But Ihmir Smith, 6.9 punt return. It's But what I'm talking about here is with them Eagles, and if they could really just turn this into a scary part of our game, that'd be fantastic. So we talked about Cooper DeJean before the draft and his versatility, not only on defense, but the fact that he can play special teams and, play it damn well. And, he's been getting his shot, and he's got a 9.5-yard punt return average. I like to see that. So, hey, man, I think he's going to have one of these explosive plays one of these weeks, and why not this week? Let's effing go. But we also asked for a little Isaiah Rodgers back there at kick return. He's had 3 for 75 yards, so a 25-yard average as well. But that's another one where I think Isaiah Rodgers could break one here. This is what we talked about in the offseason, staying patient and allowing time for these things to come to fruition where, this could be a really scary team. And I know a lot of people feel in the first few weeks that is how your team has to be for the rest of the season, but that couldn't be any further from the truth. So you got to allow time, and I think in due time, people will be on board with the Philadelphia Eagles. And it has to get done with this defense here. Daniel Jones, I think for me, Danny Dimes could get you, right? And that would be embarrassing. He's got 1,300 yards, over 1,300 this year, 223.8 yards per game, 6 touchdowns, been sacked 14 times. He's got 4 interceptions. So not, crazy with the interceptions, but I'd like to get that started tomorrow. So the Eagles defense needs to get that pressure. They've got injuries on the offensive line. You need to attack. You need to get that pressure, cause those turnovers, and get Danny Dimes playing like shit. You got to watch him running with it, and do not let him dink and dunk on you. I think, as this defense gets healthier and younger, we're going to get more excited. Let's get the party started tomorrow. Let's get 5 sacks again, maybe even more. And let's get a couple turnovers. I think that would be really awesome. So please, Eagles defense, step it up here tomorrow. Put Danny Dimes in the dirt. And, we talk about Sidney Brown being back and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Blankenship, these versatile pieces like Brown and Gardner-Johnson, what they can do along with, guys like Cooper DeJean, where you can allow safeties like Blankenship and Quinyon Mitchell to stay in their roles, and you have these Swiss Army knives. And we talked about that, all off season, and we're finally going to get to see a lot of these guys together. And, I like to match up, obviously the safety's got to do a lot more than just work on the tight ends, but we talk about Theo Johnson, Chris Manhertz, Daniel Bellinger, and Theo Johnson jumped up top the depth chart, the Penn Stater we talked about, very athletic, good player, but these safeties going to have to do some work here. And I think they obviously, dude, this is going to be one of the better safety rooms in my opinion. I really can't wait to watch these guys grow. My love for Sidney Brown last year before the draft. I was ecstatic when we got him. So I'm ready to rock and roll with this kid, and maybe you ease him into it, but we're going to get things going, and I'd love to see him in coverage, maybe getting an interception, doing something big, getting a turnover. I'd be all for it. And, if you take away the run game, They got Devin Singletary back, but they're finding out that this Tyrone Tracy kid is not to be messed with. And, 221 yards is what Singletary has, 208 for Tracy, and he only started 2 games. And I think Tracy is their future there, so eventually he'll take over, and they'll probably use a little bit of both tomorrow. So you got to be ready for the run. And, Dean, you've got to learn how to effing tackle. Stop missing tackles before I lose my effing mind. And I've still got hope for the kid to continue developing. But Zach Bond here, be more of a leader to Dean. Not saying he hasn't been, but we need a little more help here. Let's get these guys together. This defense pissed off. And, Zach Bond leading the team with tackles. Got a couple sacks in that first game. He's got a couple of tackles for a loss. Get some more sacks. Let's get some forced fumbles, whatever you got to do, bro. But shut this run game down. Put it in Danny Dimes' hands. And we're going to need this defensive line. Obviously, the interior, these big boys, time to wreak some havoc. And they got John Runyon, Van Roten, John Michael Schmitz. I think that, this defensive front should be able to dominate interior-wise. Got some good matchups in there. But it's time for these young guys to continue showing what they – and I keep seeing it every week, how these guys are busts and need to be traded. And I just continue laughing. Jordan Davis isn't leading the league in sacks, and it's like, oh yeah, I wonder if you've ever heard what a nose tackle is or know what that is. But hey, whatever. I think they'll dominate, and I also think when you're looking at this matchup when it comes to Malik Neighbors and Quinyon Mitchell, I've talked about it throughout the week. Yes, I wanted Neighbors to be healthy because this is going to be a battle for a long, long time, man, that we're going to be hating Neighbors and they're going to be hating Quinyon Mitchell, and I can't wait, man. But you've got Slayton, got Wan'Dale Robinson there. We've got Slay, maybe it's Rogers, but Cooper DeJean now the nickel. And what did I say last week? Watch him get a sack. The dude does it. We almost got that Quinyon Mitchell interception for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but I'm telling you, man, I see things, and I've been trying to show you, but I think you're seeing now what I've been talking about for so long. So ready to see that matchup. Going to be very exciting. And if you've noticed, I'm showing the Giants offense first. So no particular really order, just kind of the way I want to talk about it. But, we talk about the injury to, the left tackle Andrew Thomas. You got a Zeju coming in here. There's no reason these guys shouldn't be able to get things going. We talk about Huff looking good, getting his hand in the dirt, getting Sweat, Smith, Graham all going. Continue building on that. Get Jalix Hunt involved, and let's go whoop some Giants effing ass, man. I really think that you've got yourself a good opportunity here to go get some sacks. And interior-wise, those guys we just talked about, and then, of course, these edge guys. You got to go do something here, man. So, let's get that done tomorrow. So we're going to get into the top 6 here in a second. I see the comments popping up, though, so let me jump over here real quick, and we will finish this off here quickly. But, dude, Slobberknocker. Yo, right? Maybe because I forget what clip I saw, like some kind of Chris Jericho drop-kicking Shane McMahon, like something kind of video. Maybe it just it's taking me back. But, dude, yeah, drifting off to see on that one. I said, hey, man, yeah, you heard me talk about that with that video not long ago, and I highly doubt they would trade the number 1 pick they just drafted. But Danny Dimes, yeah, he is dookie for sure. Yeah, no doubt. I'm good on that. Defense needs to feast. Yeah, that's what we're talking about there, and that's what we're about to, talk about here in a second with their defense. We got to do all the things we've been talking about, throughout this week. Just continue to build on what, and that's why it's so funny to me. The media doesn't know what to do, so they create all these stories and lose their minds. And it's like, dude, we're staying patient because we already knew what was coming here, right? So, yeah, bumpy roads, nobody wants them, but it is what it is. Hey, I'm all about it. You get a touchdown and you get a touchdown. I'm all about it, Tiffany. Let's throw some parlays. No, I'm not doing that. But let's jump into this top 6 here, and let's finish it off, and then I'll take your final questions and thoughts, and then I'll get rolling out here. So let me jump here at number 6, and an important one with Dallas Goedert out. We need Grant Calcaterra, Jack Stoll to step it up. They've got rookie Tyler Nubin in there. They've got Jason Pinnock, and look, Newman is a stud. We talked about that kid out of Minnesota before the draft here, and I think that, they've got a bright future there. Obviously, you don't want to get rid of Xavier McKinney. I love that dude, and I wish we would have gotten him, but it is what it is. And look, this isn't Dallas Goedert, but Calcaterra is like half Goddard, and Stoll is the other half, right? Stoll can block, Calcaterra can catch, but Stoll's kind of not been great at blocking either. Whatever. Regardless, that's what they're both better at, and you got to use a combination of both. If you got to use more 12 personnel at times or whatever you want to do, I think probably more 11 because you don't have Goddard. But hey, we'll see what they decide to do. I think that it's next man up no matter what. Just like when we lost AJ and Devontae, you got to figure it out, man. So at tight end position, obviously Hurts has a connection with Calcaterra from college at Oklahoma. So they had a nice connection last week. He had, 4 catches, like 64 yards, second in the team in yardage. So let's go, baby. Next man up. Now let's jump into the top 5. Number 5, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and, Jahan Dotson's there too. So I've seen people, the Eagles suck. They don't get their third wide receiver involved. It's like, well, dude, I don't know if you've never heard of A.J. Brown or, Devontae Smith, but I prefer them to get the ball if you can. So perfectly fine with it. If Dotson, when his time, just like last week, when his time is on, baby, you got to be on. So he was on, made a good catch there. And I think that, that's all you can ask. And, you're talking about being third out of these receivers, but you still got Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts in this offense where you're playing, 74th fiddle. So I'm not worried about it, but if he can get a good play here today, whether he's lining up inside, outside, but you got Drew Phillips in the slot there, defensive back, rookie, but Cordell Flott and Deonte Banks there. And I like Deonte Banks. We talked about that kid from Maryland last year or the year before, whatever, but he's getting better, dude. And I think that this is something, you look forward to these rivalries, but I think I'm looking forward to a spanking. I think A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are about to do some work, and well, I can't wait. I remember all the Giants fans talking trash about Devontae Smith and, how he's miserable being here. Yeah, that's really cute. Now, usually this guy's close to number 1. We need him, but I feel confident. I'm not, where everyone else is about trading and, cutting Hurts and he's a bust and he sucks and he regressed and all that bullshit. I don't give a damn, baby. He's still Jalen Hurts, top 5 in the NFL for me. And I think, obviously, learning a new system every effing year is really going to be a hindrance on anyone. But, you'll make mistakes. And you saw them clean those up last week. We had a bye. We've only played 5 games, man. And you see people losing their minds. It's like, dude, we're going to play a total of 17. So you got 12 more to go. Over double what you've already played. You know what I mean? So, okay. But regardless, I think Hurts going to continue to get in top tier form, and he's going to get this team rallied around him. Great leader. I don't give a shit what the media makes up about him, whatever they need to get by because they don't know how to talk about football. They just want to talk about weird shit. That's cool. Not for me. I'm good. Jalen Hurts, go out here, smoke these mother effers because I know that their defense is playing well. I know they're number 1 in sacks, but Jalen Hurts has been playing really well against the sack. So whether or not people want to admit, this dude's good, that's on them, dude. I see weird comments all the time on him, and it's like, man, I'm just trying to literally enjoy watching a quarterback I really enjoy. And, dude, whatever. Let people be weird. But he's been great this year against the blitz, and I think he just needs to continue doing his thing. But they're going to come after him, man. Got to be ready. And I think that, he will be ready. Hopefully, Kellen Moore puts him in position along with Nick Sirianni and everyone else to succeed. So tough defense, but we got a tough quarterback. I'm ready to see what he can do, but we're going to need this offensive line to step it up here. Jurgens, I talked about him Sunday night. My initial reaction was he looked like complete ass. And then we saw the next day that he was actually the lowest rated Eagle. I think he was rated like a 47-point ass. So yeah, that was not good. It was actually like in the 30s or something. But, I think you got to get your shit together. And look, I'm not one of those people losing my mind. I think he's, the future here. You just got to get it together here for this game because you got Dexter Lawrence. He's questionable, but it sounds like he's going to play. The mother effer is a beast. And, you got Davidson, Nunez, Roches there as well. But, my God, Dexter effing Lawrence. He's a freak of nature. just had a game with a few sacks in him. He's got 7 on the season. He's a defensive tackle. Son of a, he's a beast. And I think we all know that. And we have Jurgens here, but we also have Dickerson, Becton, monsters. So these monsters got to come together, protect our quarterback, get this run game going. But it's going to be a tough task. So, oh boy, I'm looking forward to it. But even more so, talking about the exterior. Now, Fred Johnson, when you see him tomorrow, will be wearing 74, not 50. But it's hard to find pictures of the guy looking that way when, anyways. So, doesn't play much for the Eagles, but we all know who Fred Johnson is. We talked about him, this offseason, a lock to make this roster because his ability to provide that depth at left and right tackle. And I think we're going to find out real quick. And obviously, dude, he's not Jordan Mailata, but I'm really excited for Fred Johnson to get an opportunity. And Johnson, baby, let's go. Now, Brian Burns, a little banged up, but still one of the better edge rushers in this game. So, going to have to watch out for him. Azeez Ojulari, we've talked about him as a trade candidate. I doubt they would trade him to us. They're not that dumb after we just fleeced them for free agents. But anyways, you got Boogie Basham there. And, of course, Patrick Effin Johnson, you son of a – but his revenge game, we got to protect him with our Johnsons. So, wait a second. Anyways, Johnson & Johnson, shut down Johnson, and it burns the Johnson when you bash him. Ojulari. Okay, so number 1 here, you've got Okereke and McFadden. And don't worry, I am a lost cause. Just pretend none of that happened. But you've got Okereke and Micah McFadden here. They're linebackers going against the number 1 matchup this week, Saquon Effin Barkley. And look, I don't give a damn how well this defensive line, the linebackers, anybody, their grandma is playing. This Eagles offense needs to get that run going. And I know they had their struggles on the offensive line, and this is going to be a good defensive line you're going against, but I don't give a shit. Barkley is averaging 5.3 yards per carry, and he's only got 4 touchdowns after, and that's rushing touchdowns I'm talking about, after the way he started. Now, we know we can use him in the passing game as well, and I hope we do so. He's got that 1 receiving touchdown, so only 5 touchdowns in these 5 games when he had a multi-touchdown game a couple times. So, no. Get this dude the effing ball. Run the damn ball right down their throats. I don't care. And I talked about it, middle of the pack against the run, but I think they're one of the worst teams when it comes to like yards per rush. So we need to run that damn ball. And that is exactly what we're going to do in this homecoming he's at home now, but a little revenge game, we'll just say, for Saquon Barkley. That's my number 1 matchup. That's the top 13 matchups and everything you need to know for this Eagles and Giants Week 7 battle. And look, Saquon and the whole gang need to get things going. And obviously, no Mailata, so that sucks. But I don't give a damn. It's football, man. And you see people freaking out all the time. It's like, dude, injuries literally happen every week, every year. It's just how it works. It's football. Next man up. And when you got good depth, and this is why we make those shows. Like, why would you talk about the backups and the practice? It's like, because those people do become important, and they're always important. Every little detail matters. And well, I know you sickos feel the same way I do. So I want to know everything, every little detail about not only the Eagles, their opponent, everything. So that's why we do all these shows. That's why we finish it off with some top matchups. Get excited the night before, and then we get pumped up for that game tomorrow, 1 o'clock. So I will have the pregame show around 11:45, noon. We will be talking birds, and I'll give you the game inactives. We'll go everything you need to know for that game, and we'll talk about how the Giants are going to get their ass whooped. So, any final thoughts, questions that you have, throw them in now. But I'm going to get rolling out here in a minute. But let me jump up here. The Oprah comment was hilarious, by the way, Tiffany. So bad he couldn't get a start. Yeah, he lost his he never won the job there. So unfortunate. Yeah, he was one of the guys I love, dude. So unfortunate, but hey, he's been killing it over there at Green Bay. But we got Sidney Brown back, so I'm all about it. All about it. And you guys know I'm a drifter. Just pretend. And he really has. He needs to step it up with Goddard out, man. Yeah, man, that's what we talk about. He's one of those F-type tight ends. He's a receiving type guy. He needs to work on the blocking, but we already know that about him. But he's got the rapport with Jalen Hurts, so it's next man up. And look, Calcaterra, you got to do what you're good at, accentuate to their skill sets, right? So they're not Dallas Goedert. That's why I talk about, maybe having to use both of them certain times. But you shouldn't have to, man. You should just be able to rely on Calcaterra. That's why we talked about upgrading this tight end 2 room, and I talked, the tight end room with the tight end too. And that's why I said I didn't like the Uzomah signing, because to me, someone needs to be the 2. And then the 3 was either going to be Calcaterra or Uzomah, because God forbid something happened. And now it's happened. It's not like I ever say these things before they happen or anything. Just got to pretend I don't, right? Just pretend I don't say anything. But, dude, I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to say a lot more tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys for the pregame show. Drew, my man, appreciate you, dude, in these wild hours taking the time here, dude. And everybody else, I appreciate all of you guys. And, yeah, Saquon's going to get it. We need Jack Stoll to get his revenge too, right? Who else do we have from the Giants? Isn't there? I'm sure there's some other formers I'm just not thinking of here. But, and hey, look, I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. And, yeah, you know it is, man. And you guys need anything, you can always reach out. I'm always here for you guys, seriously. And, yeah, I just, when I said that, I was like, you get their Johnson with our Johnson, and it just sounded like a Johnson sword fight. I just started getting weird, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I needed a big pause button, but we're live. And that's the risk I take, going live so much with you guys. And as a High Plains drifter, it's a real crapshoot when I come out here. I'll tell you what. But yeah, at least we got rid of some. Now you want to buy yourself a jersey, you just gotta make sure you got the right letters in front there. And it is a Johnson world. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really is. But Jesus, oh God help us. You guys are awesome. I'm glad you can always make me laugh, give me a good time, because that's what I'm here for. And look, I see it, and I'm glad I work so much that I don't have to watch any of those shows or ever hear anything for the media. I see you guys, and I get to hear about it, and, I don't care. I really can't stand that stuff, but it's funny that, they're so bored and don't know what to do, and it's, the Eagles, like, watch the flip up here from the media, dude. You're going to see it, because this team is just getting started, man. Like, I understand there have been struggles. I get it, dude. And if you keep making stupid mistakes and turning the ball over, you will lose. So you've got to come out here pissed off, clean football. You're the better team. No excuse to not run the ball right down their effing throat. Throw in some passes. I know you want to score a lot of points. Go score a lot of points. Go put up 40 plus. Let's get a 43-17 win. Let's whoop the shit out of them. Or give me a heart attack and let's win 23-21. I'm sure that's what you're going to do to me. So as long as you win, though, whatever, dude. At this point, I'm an Eagles fan. Look how gray I am. Do you see this? I went from, like, looking super young to just old as shit. Like, look, are we for real? Santa Claus here in next year. Unreal. This is what they do to me. I'm telling you, we don't stop, man, and I'm with it. Run the ball, or you're going to give me more gray hairs. And my dad used to make jokes. They're giving me grit. I get it. You see, I look like Storm, effing X-Men over here. I just, and I would not mind some 21 personnel, but I just think I want to see the one running back, Saquon Barkley. But yeah, dude, and if we were just talking about, Chris, not sure if you're here, old school wrestling. I think I said something slobber knocker or something like that. But I was watching some clip, and it just reminded me how awesome wrestling used to be. And then I saw these shitbirds I used to grow up loving as a tag team made this weirdo video, and I was just like, So I've been thinking about a lot of WWF here today. So that's what's up. 47-9. I'm all about it. Let's effing go, birds. And you can tell it's been a long week for me. And it's always funny that, like, I put myself out here, like, live, especially I have days where, like, I'll work, like, 12, 13, 14 hours. And I'm just like, yeah, the Eagles are dying, dude. And I'm, like, trying to just get through them. And then, like, I don't know. You guys are like, yeah, it's great stuff. Like, I try to think that every time. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter how tired you are, what you got going on. These people come here to have fun, to be entertained, to get educated on things, or just to have a good time, whatever it is. That's what we're here for. And I try my best every time to bring the energy and not just be a High Plains drifter. But luckily you can laugh at me, just, hey, this guy's nuts. Like, that's make yourself feel a little bit better. Hey, I'm not as crazy as I thought. This dude, High Plains drifter. But yo, dude, JR was the man. Wrestling was the shit back in the day. I used to love it, man. But different times. Attitude Era. That was magical. And even before that, I love that stuff too. But 13-point win, I'll take it. Let me guys know how you feel about this game, though, down below. I got to get rolling out. You know what I'm going to ask you for, but anything else, like Nina, Drew, Tiffany, Liz, all of you, Chris, you have any more thoughts? Like, I just have so much going on. I want to see my family, too. Like, I'm not trying to cut you guys short, but I try to give you all this information, try to, answer the questions as I'm doing it. But you ever think of anything, or you rewatch it, you're looking at the pictures, you think of something, just always feel free to comment on these videos. Reach out. I'm always here for you guys. Like, I just have to try to make the time slots work, and life is just pure insanity that way. But I wouldn't have it any other way, because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm used to pure insanity and almost having a heart attack every damn second. So let's get ready, get our heart monitors beeping, and I think I'm going to put that video up tomorrow, or that meme I made years ago up tomorrow with the yeah, you'll see it. Look, I love you, each and every one of you. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you guys always taking the time here. And if you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button. Share this bad boy. It helps. It really does. Subscribing. I love to see new members. And I know some of you guys don't, like to comment every once in a blue moon. You'll say, hey, I don't comment, but hey, that's awesome, dude. And I'm the same way sometimes. When I ever have a chance to watch something, I might not have the time. I'm, doing something standing up, so I'm not always able to type or whatever, dude. I just appreciate you guys taking the time. All of it really does matter, and I cannot thank you enough for your support. So you guys ever need anything, reach out. But that's going to be it. But you better get your asses in here tomorrow around noon, maybe a little before. Going to get those gaming actives, get the stuff ready for you, and then we'll talk about everything you need to know for this game tomorrow. But that is all I have for you this evening. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me now, go Birds!